Hey guys, I'm Victoria. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to the channel, we're doing bodybuilding prep and we are on week 3. Of bodybuilding prep. Today, we're going to talk more about stomach vacuums and why to do them, the benefits, all that. What is a stomach vacuum? Basically, a stomach vacuum is when you start pulling in the muscle belly towards your belly button and towards your tailbone and spine. And it's mainly working the transverse abdominis muscle. That muscle protects all of your organs, including your spine. It's good for posture. It's good for keeping a flat stomach, protects you during lifts, and you look good in a bikini, so. So for stomach vacuums, if you are in the bodybuilding field, there's a lot of benefits to it, and it depends on the category you do. For males, a lot of times, especially the open bodybuilders, will do front poses where they're sucking in and creating that concave vacuum, stomach vacuum. So that's part of their posing. Whereas for females, more so in my category, wellness, when we're doing the side pose, you want to keep your waist tight as you're turning and doing your pose. So if I just let it drop like that and not stomach vacuum, it just doesn't look right. So we're creating that tight space, but it also brings up your chest, keeps your spine protected when you're doing poses. The best way to start off with stomach vacuums, especially as a beginner, is laying flat on the floor on your back. So we're gonna get a mat here. And now we're gonna take a nap. No, we're gonna do stomach vacuums. Almost like you're getting ready to meditate, right? So I know in a lot of exercises, you're told to tuck your back into like the floor or the pad, like a bench press, for example. But in this case, we're keeping this neutral, everything neutral, because we're just actively trying to get the transverse abdominis to tighten and pull in towards the spine. If you feel like you need any support, you can always put a rolled towel underneath. Some people don't have as much space, but not to toot my own flute, I got a little bit of glute going on, so. So if you look down here, a lot of people try to like tuck, but you want to keep a neutral spine and pelvis because we want to activate the muscles. We're not trying to use the bone and other muscles to activate. So keeping neutral pelvis and spine. You're just gonna take in some breaths, just breathing. Maybe take a nap at this point, this feels nice. But no, just breathe in, feeling your diaphragm here, just feeling for it. So you'll breathe in. Breathe out all the way. We'll do it again. And then this time when you breathe out, try to actively think of the belly button coming as close as possible to your spine. So breathe out and just let it sink, 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 sink. And then as you're doing that, just think of almost contracting as you're pulling that spine. The first few times when you do this, really, really, really go slow so that you don't pull anything if you've never actually activated your transverse abdominis. And as you get better at it, you actually start learning where to activate more. So you can see here my ribs. And as you get more advanced, you'll be able to do these throughout the day and actually be able to keep the conversation. So notice I've got it all tucked in right now and I'm talking to y'all right now. You can see this is coming in. It takes time though. These are some exercises belly dancers like to use as well. Before doing these though, I would recommend talking with your primary care physician, just in case if you have a small hernia or any medical issues. And again, notice how I'm not tucking in to try to force it. So if you force it, you're using more of your bone. We want to just keep it neutral. And you can use your hands to feel and kind of push. I notice for people, the hardest part for them is actually right here. So right below the belly button to get it to come in. And as you get more and more comfortable with it, you can do it standing, which I can show in a minute. But for now, we're letting gravity help with this. And make sure that your shoulders and neck are relaxed too. We're just activating the stomach area. As you get more and more comfortable with stomach vacuums, you can go from lying to standing. I would start off with some support. So I'm using this bench here at an incline. I'm gonna stand in front of it. You can either hold on like this or you can lean more into it. It's up to you. I usually lean more into it. Let my belly hang out for a second so I can show you. And same deal, you're just gonna hold the belly button towards your spine. And you can hold it. And to challenge yourself even more, don't let your belly hang all the way out as you let out. Try to keep it kind of flexed. That's also another way to protect your spine and organs. Hold this down to show you a little more. Okay, so who shouldn't be doing these? So for example, my husband, he has short bowel syndrome. So he's had like 4 bowel resections. Okay, he's got pretty much a bunch of space right here that's not put together. So he is definitely red flag, shouldn't be doing that. If you just had a baby, you know, go off of what your primary care physician says. So depending how many weeks, months, that's up to your doctor. But definitely follow up with them on that. So if you just had a baby, don't be doing these. If you already have like a hernia going on, like I did previously, I wasn't allowed to do stomach vacuums until they actually assessed it. If you have an active hernia that's pretty bad and just won't go away, don't do those, because that's a great way to open it more or get the any organs to start poking through more. There are some side effects with doing stomach vacuums. The biggest one I want to actually mention is, you know, if you're not used to these or you're still working on the breath work, you might get dizzy or lightheaded from these. So taking your time, making sure that you're actually breathing, not holding your breath too long. Unlike me, where I've been doing these for so long, I can actually talk and do them at the same time. So be mindful of your breath work. I also don't recommend doing stomach vacuums right after a big meal. Wait at least 2 hours, if not more. Also, doing it first thing in the morning, fasted, when you haven't eaten anything or drank anything yet, is also a good way to start off your day and the stomach vacuums. Again, just being mindful of breath work. So if you're wanting to work more on stomach vacuums, maybe throughout the day, just thinking about that breath work and just keeping your stomach tight. A lot of people don't realize for good posture throughout the day, you're actually supposed to keep the stomach area sort of kept in and tight, not just letting it hang out. In pageants and stuff like that, they talk about just keeping it tucked in, not stomach vacuums, but right before you actually suck it in, just kind of keeping it tight. So you'll get better at that, and then you'll be able to control over time as you do stomach vacuums, pulling, drawing in. See, as I'm talking right now, I'm breathing, able to pull it in and hold it. And just an added bonus with practicing the breath work, stomach vacuums, and getting used to it over time, just to think about during exercise, you want to keep your stomach tight and protect your organs and spine. You don't want to just let your stomach flopping out like this. Keeping it tight protects everything. It's good to push through to get heavier lifts like in powerlifting while keeping your waist tight and small. And if you have any questions about doing stomach vacuums or the breath work with it, or just have anything else you would like to add to this, feel free to comment down below, like, subscribe, share the video. And as always, before you do stomach vacuums or any of this, check with your primary care physician just to make sure that you're cleared to do them. Until next time, we're still on week 3 of bodybuilding prep.